Hello, Just Jax here, and welcome to my channel. And today we are just going to do some little simple, you can call them drawing exercises. It's just a little easy intro to sketching. It's not going in the deep nitty gritty or anything. It's literally just how to do some simple sketches, just using standard HB pencils, so nothing complicated, no swip swapping through all the H's to all the B's. It's just a HB pencil and showing you how you can get some just easy flowers done. You don't even have to have a point of reference for these. Though it is good, if you really want to take sketching seriously, to just start with random things you have laying around the house. Get yourself a HB pencil, pick some random object that's kicking around, like little tea light, plonk it somewhere, and have a practice, have a play. Everything's made up out of shapes, so you'll always be able to get there by looking at it and seeing what shapes you recognise and putting those down first. So that being said, let's just get to the nice, easy flowers. So I think we've got the whole page in shot, we have. Now, roses, they can go from really easy to really complicated. This is the easiest, simplest variant of a rose you can do. It's that simple. You can flounce it up a bit. And don't worry about being wholly tidy. You can go back and tidy things up later. You can take lines away of a rubber that you don't want to be there. You can permanise. Permanise, it's not even a word. You can make permanent lines that you do want to be there by going over them with a pen and then rubbing out the whole thing later. Or you can keep with just the sketchy feel and just rework over and over the sketches. So yeah, that is like literally the most simple rose. That and the Macintosh rose. That one's very simple as well. Now, let's say this is just a variant of it without point of reference. I can't remember the exact position of the lines, but that's basically the Macintosh rose. It's so simple. Doesn't necessarily look like a rose until you add the colours, but people who are familiar with the Macintosh style, there will always be a rose on there somewhere. That's his little symbol. Then you can go into like the more complicated roses. Well, we'll start off with like a little budding bit. Now, it won't initially look like a rose until you get all the way to the outside. If you want to go for something a bit more detailed, then I would really recommend getting a reference. nice simple roses. You can then go in if you want to, bring up a little shade in. Again, it doesn't have to be anything too fancy at this point. Still using a HB pencil. So if you want to make it a little bit more defined. That's what a little bit of pencil and a little bit of smudge work can do. Again, really nice and simple. That one you don't really need any shading. That's just like a block print, you know. It's just line and colour, line and colour. This guy would get much more complicated with the shading because you'd want to start at the bottom and work your way out of the petals, because you'd want each petal to be nice and light at the top. So again, nice, simple, easy flowers to start off with. And you can just make a flower if you just want to draw flowers. It doesn't have to necessarily be a flower in particular. It can be based off of, like, are they chrysanthemums? And don't worry about things being perfect. Nothing is perfect. One of the best bits of advice I can give when it comes to drawing, and it's probably the hardest to get your head around, as simple as it sounds, is to just, when you're drawing something from like a still life, you know, something like a real object or a person or a pet, you will see them as perfect naturally. Don't try and draw what you think it should be. Draw exactly what you see. Now, being completely honest, that took me quite a while to get my head around, because I would, like most people do initially when they start drawing, you draw things that you love or you have an admiration for, and you naturally see them as perfect, like see them through rose-tinted glasses. You know there's flaws there, like someone, you know, you'll always have one eye slightly, that, you know, no face is symmetrical basically, but you'll naturally see them as being the epitome of perfect. So every line will be in place. You know, the nose will be perfectly central, but no one's is. It's always ever so slightly somewhere. And when you finish drawing, you won't see what you see. You'll see what you thought you saw, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to describe until you start doing it yourself. It never quite looks right, even though you've done your very best, you've made it picture perfect, no line is out of place. It still won't quite look like that person or that object or that animal, because you've tried to do it perfectly symmetrical. You've tried to line up, you know, this eye with that eye, that nostril with that nostril. It'll always be a slight kink somewhere along the way. So when you start drawing what you actually see, it will come out beautiful. It'll come out exactly how you are seeing it. Again, this is, I'll have to draw a face one day. I am going to draw my girls, so that'll be a very good example. I'll talk about that much more then. But that's when it'll hit. It'll suddenly hit one day for you. And you will be drawing so much more better. Now, you can keep this, let's say, it's only really based off a chrysanthemum. You can keep it just as line work. You can go in there and add little bits, tweak it, push it. You can add colour if you want. You can go with a Macintosh style and just put some block colour in there, or you can go bold and put some shaded colour in there. And a good way to start with a lot of things, if you have never drawn before, is to try and go in there loose. Don't be afraid of lines being in the wrong place. Don't be afraid of going over your lines again. And don't think every line that you put down has to be the final line. So like, I know we've got flowers going on here, but we'll just slap an eyeball in the middle. There's no perfect line there. We're not going to, this is going to be, I'll pop over here and attempt at just drawing an eye, with every line being exactly where I want it to begin with. So it's not bad. This is my sketchy one. Now when I draw eyes, I always start with the most obvious, the eyeballs. We've got a nice big circle. I'll pop right in the middle. This is just a straight up eye. This isn't based off anyone's. So I haven't got to put a lot of emotion behind the eye. Now we've got a bajillion and one lines in there. But we have what I find anyway, for me, a far more appealing eye. This one's quite cartoony because cartoons are, you know, on the whole, generally speaking, linear. When you want to make something look that little bit more real, there's lines on the face, but there's not like, you know, say you've got a smile. There's not an obvious line there. There'll be a faint sort of line going on there, but more of it will be tone. It'll be shade. It'll be suggesting that there's a line there based on light and dark. So you've got your rough guide there. You can still see the line roughly, but it's bringing up like there's a cheek coming forward, or doing it the other way if there's like, you know, a lot of light coming. If that makes sense. Like I say, we'll do a face one day. We'll, before eyes and lips and noses take over the page. So yeah, just some little simple flowers to get people started. And like I say, this is just using a HB pencil. You could bring in the pen if you wanted to. Just a simple biro. And add in some definition. This is just simple pencil and pen work. Yeah, we're not going over every line there. We're just picking a couple of points. Being still quite loose with it. Almost like highlights. But that makes quite a difference. And that would be really nice coloured. And my chair's squeaking. So it was just a short, sweet little video, which I'll have to condense because I waffled on a lot. To show you that you can do some really nice, easy, simple flowers if you've never drawn before. You can't really go wrong. And you can get really loose with that if you want to make a nice loose bunch of roses. Just pick each of those edges to drag down on itself, kind of like a curled up bit of paper. Coloured in, that'll look amazing as a gift for someone. A little personalised drawing, or even a card if you're into card making and you want to do something more personal. So yeah, just something short and sweet. Hope you like that. Hope it's giving you some ideas, giving you a little bit of confidence. Just start scribbling, just start sketching, just start doodling. You'll be surprised where it can take you. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.